Thousands of people are stranded at the Burningman festival in the Nevada desert after heavy rain turns the usually dry and dusty ground into thick mud. The police have also launched an investigation after someone died during the rainstorm. The roads around the festival are closed, making it nearly impossible to get in or out. Comedian Chris Rock says he had to make an elaborate escape, claiming to have walked 5 miles in the desert before hitchhiking with fans. Festival goers have been warned it could be several days before the ground dries up enough to leave, and have been told to conserve their food, water and fuel.
Someone who tried to escape Burningman.
Is it what?
A chode.
What's it showed?
Short and fat hair.
Oh, you learn every day something. Yeah. Burningman is just full of artists. Yeah. This is so inspiring.
Whispering because I was told not to do this by everybody in the camper, but we need people to know. They're saying we can't leave because of the mud, but they aren't letting anyone out. They've got fences up. There's armed guards standing at the gates and patrolling. I don't know what's going on, but just need the truth to get out there. Pray for us.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but did you know that Burning Man 2023 is now declared a national emergency by the US government, as over 73,000 campers are stranded, sheltering in place in their campsites at the event. The footage I've been seeing from there looks miserable, and I would be so upset if I had spent thousands and thousands of dollars to be here. But listen to this announcement people are hearing across the campgrounds.
Drive your vehicle. Do not ride your bike. Do not push your bike around. Remain where you are. Secure structures and belongings in your camp. Don't operate generators or other electrically powered instruments that are standing in water. Cover or secure anything electrical. Check on your campmates and neighbors to make sure they're okay and help them as needed. And take advantage of a moment of calm to connect with campmates and hunker down. Stay safe out there, Black Rock City. More reports coming from the BMIR traffic choppers soon. Now back to the studio.
Festival goers are being told to conserve food and water because there is no access in or out of Burning Man after this storm. And everybody's trapped in this muddy wasteland. Currently, according to USA Today, they don't know how long these closures are going to last. However, they are saying cell phone service is virtually non-existent at the event. Though there must be some, because we are getting video footage from people to TikTok. And if you think that's bad, apparently there's a toilet situation too. As now, all of the cleaning service to the porta potties has been halted. And the temperatures dropped into the low 50s. And if you heard that announcement earlier, they're not allowed to use their generators if they're on any kind of moisture. So I'm assuming people are cold, hungry, and not wanting to use the disgusting bathrooms. I have never been more happy to be a homebody.
Drowning Man update. We got 3/4 of an inch of rain.
Travel is impossible.
And there's about 70,000 people stranded on a barren lake bed. But fortunately, burners are badass and brought all the supplies we need. Or most of us.
We got people who came by bus camped on the edge of the city.
They're in pop-up tents and at risk of getting hypothermia. But we don't need outside help. We're gonna bind together,
Get radically self-reliant, dry out the furniture.
and keep the party going. The alternative is to fall into despair, roll over, and die. And we all have a choice in how we're gonna handle this. So everyone open up your Starlink satellites so people can communicate with their families. Make an expedition to the edge of the city with food and water. And don't fight anybody, because we're all in this together. Bury those negative thoughts in gratitude for your life, because a couple people didn't make it last night. And know that we're all gonna clean up this mess and get out of here. This is the hand we were dealt this year, and together we're gonna get through it.
Burning Man was absolutely wild this year. I just had to walk 2 hours in the mud to escape. My shoes are absolutely trashed. And speaking of trash, I had to wear literal trash bags on my feet for the last 48 hours just to get around everywhere because the mud, it's so slippery. You have no idea. It's like ice skating on mud.
But like your stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, my assistant hired someone to pick up all the stuff for me and bring it back to me in Reno.
Wasn't that expensive?
Oh, yeah. No, it's all taken care of.
Aren't you worried about everybody else who's stuck there?
Oh, no, I'm not worried. Everyone there is super self-reliant. It's one of the 10 principles.
So they're basically stuck in a desert?
Yeah, it's the middle of the desert, but it's pretty much a city in the middle of the desert.
But what if your friends run out of food and water?
I never really thought about that.
Like they're not letting any cars in or out right now, so...
Yeah, maybe that is
the human body needs water and food. I'm honestly just a little confused because didn't they say it was going to be raining and this would happen?
No, they say something like that every year to get people to not go, but the real burners go every year no matter what.
But like, don't you regret
going? No, I don't really have any regrets. I mean, personally, it would have been nice if I could have used my private plane, but you know, I had to walk out. I had to do what I had to do.
So we're okay. I think that the news is saying that it's pretty bad out here. It is. There's mud. You can't really walk or drive. We have Wi-Fi for a moment, so I'm posting this. This is how Peggy and I look right now. Yep, no shoes because it's really hard to walk with shoes. My boots are like 5 inches, and then the mud became 5 inches, so I was kind of on stilts. But yeah, as part of this update, we are not allowed out of the playa. The gates are locked. We're okay. We have enough tuna for a week, so we're okay. But there's a chance that Sunday is worse than it was yesterday. All of our structures have fallen down, by the way. So yeah, we might not be able to leave till Tuesday or Wednesday. So off the map, totally safe. Yeah, thank goodness we have a mod van, so we're safe inside of that. Yep. Sorry about the plug. I know we're not supposed to talk about commercial things, but yeah, we're okay. All right, sending love to you all. Stay safe, everyone.
If you've never heard of Burning Man, well, it's a festival out in the desert. It's a dry lake bed, ancient dry lake bed. Add a Hurricane Hillary, and it makes for a bad combination with 75,000 festival goers. Dainty festival goers at that, rich people, because they have all these sculptures, massive shit that's expensive, and they frolic around with shit like from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. And they have all this on, like goggles, and they ride these bikes made out of fucking dinosaur bones. Fucking, you know, brontosaurus, whatever, saurus, and... You know, and they're fucked up shit. They've made little bungalows out of fucking Tyvek's foam insulation board with an R7 value, and they've put air conditioners in, window air conditioners. They're pretty smart motherfuckers, if you ask me. These little huts look like, you know, on that movie Troy that Brad Pitt. Achilles stayed in. They're built in the same fashion. So all these people are now stuck out in this lake bed because it rained, and there's a foot of goddamn mucky ass mud, the muckiest shit. I mean, and this is like poisonous dust mud. It's not poisonous, but it has a lot of alkaline, which doesn't react well with the human skin. It like sucks all the goddamn moisture out, and cracks your feet. Your feet will look like that lake bed when it's 137 degrees during the summer. So now, and it's like 6 fucking miles to the closest fucking road or anything, civilization, anything. And it is a foot of mud as far as the eye can see. So I think that some of them, I saw this crazy lady. She looked cool though. She was a pretty older lady. But she was, you know, you can tell that she's had about 7 husbands, and she's rich, and she will cast a spell on that ass. So I love her. But She thinks the National Guard, they think the National Guard's coming out there to save them. So all these rich people, not all rich, I don't want to say that, but we're going to say all these people went out to fucking, an ancient lake bed during a hurricane, doing ayahuasca, shrooms, popping, snorting, drinking, popping, snorting, shooting, burping, and ecstasy and ayahuasca and fucking peyote and fucking DMT and fucking tripping balls off of acid, fucking having sex, running around, your titties hanging out, and your balls, probably not, hopefully not, but you never know. It's a crazy place out in Utah or somewhere. I don't even know where it's at. I should have done more homework, but it's a lot of people, and they have all these sculptures, and they set them on fire on the last day. So rich people out in the desert on drugs are now stranded. One report of cannibalism. We don't know if it's true, but I keep it posted. It's just in. Chris Rock and Diplo were saved from Burning Man. So it's instead of 73,000, it's 72,998 people stranded at Burning Man. 3 reports of cannibalism. And somebody ate a fucking scorpion and they're sick as shit. Echo Bravo Charlie, November Rain, out.
Right now, I would just
You're putting my life
well, then you can fuck off. Whoa! This is Burning Man! This is Burning Man!
Take all of you out. You better move.
Stop resisting!
Please! We're environmental protesters!
This is the scene outside of Burning Man in Nevada just a few days ago.
Climate protesters parked a 28-foot trailer across the road that leads to Burning Man, causing miles of gridlock. And they had some demands from the Burning Man organization. Ban private jets, single-use plastics, unnecessary propane burning, and unlimited generator use per capita. After an hour-long standoff, a tribal law enforcement agency showed up and drove through the barricade. One officer drew his weapon and handcuffed protesters who said they weren't armed. That tribal ranger's actions are now under review. Burning Man is known for its fantastical art and prides itself on sustainability. But how sustainable can it be to build a temporary city of 80,000 people in the middle of the desert and tearing it down after 9 days? Each year, the festival produces about 100,000 tons of carbon dioxide. That's more than about 22,000 gas-powered cars produce in a year. Over 90% of those emissions come from travel to and from the festival. Another 5% comes from gas and diesel burning generators that keep lights and air conditioners on throughout the festival. But after all of that, burners got back into their vehicles, stepped on the gas, and headed to the festival, business as usual.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really feel that bad for the people stuck at Burning Man right now. This is what it looks like when they try to leave Burning Man on a good year. This is the best case scenario. Maybe if like tens of thousands of wealthy software engineers and their buddies drive out into the desert to trip for 2 weeks, it's not that sad if they get stuck in the mud. There's just a really goofy sense of irony of all these wealthy people going out into the desert in search of enlightenment, and just the sheer size of this convoy and the amount of gasoline and pollution it would create as they trek out into the desert to make a temporary city. There's this really gross like underlying quasi-religiousness to Burning Man, like burners resorting to prayer, begging playa gods, please stop, we want to go home. Like how out of touch are these people? Like, these people clearly don't give a shit about the planet, otherwise they wouldn't be doing stuff like this to go build a little pop-up city in the desert. Like, this is the sort of thing that causes climate change, that creates extreme weather, that causes rainfall in unlikely places like Burning Man. I don't know, it's just kind of hard to feel bad for the Burning Man people when like stuff like this is happening, thousands of baby penguins drowning because of the loss of Antarctic ice. I don't know, I just can't find it in me to feel that bad for like a millionaire party in the desert going south.
Why am I an idiot?
That's not wow. So it might be twice the amount by drive.
The snow?
Yeah. In August. Yeah.
Did anyone get that?
Yeah.
Daryl!
You better move.
They changed!
This is how much I spent to attend Burning Man this year. I was not ready for this. You don't realize how much you spent because everything is piecemeal, so you do it over time, not all at once. I camped with my brother, so some of these costs are divided by 2. Tickets are $575 with fees and taxes. It's a little over $700. I tried not to spend a lot on clothes, and I made things like this hat, but I spent $296, including getting some of my clothes from New York shipped to LA, goggles, face masks, new boots, and jackets. I got cornrows done at a salon in LA for $90 with tip. We got a bunch of things for camping, including gas can, storage containers, a portable fan, whiteboards, carabiners, and that was $95.25. My camp dues were $450, and this included some meals, water, ice, and camping showers. My most expensive single expense was this camper van, which was our transportation and also where we camped, $14.25 for my share. My share for gas was about $300. We drove from LA to Black Rock City and back. My miscellaneous expenses included an Instax camera. I bought this so I could give people Polaroids. I got a refurbished bike lock, and basket, which cost $137. Lights and headlamps were $16. I spent $24.50 on toiletries like toilet paper, wipes, and paper towel. My share for food and water was $76. We got our rental detailed, and my share for that was $57.50. And we did have some accidental damages, including things like an accidentally broken fridge handle. So my share for the damages was $300. Grand total was $4,045.25, which was $1,000 more than I thought it was going to be, and in my opinion, totally worth it.
My playa name is Bambi because I'm so delicate. At least that's what Elon Musk said in the Orgy Dome. I flew in.
After seeing people post on the internet about Burning Man, one thing I know for certain is that I never want to go to Burning Man ever in my life. These people seem insufferable.